Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Leadership Talk for Virtual Science Fair 2021. I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Haja Sharifah Mazlina Said Abdul Qadir. She is a Malaysian woman solo explorer and the first Muslim woman to be polar hat-trick explorer that have crossed the South Pole, North Pole, and Greenland. She recently just came back from Antarctica for all-woman expedition to Antarctica with her proteges. In addition to that, Dr. Sharifah Mazlina is also the Chief Executive Officer of MAPS Concept Holdings in Berhad and the President of All Women Empowerment to Accelerate, AWITA. It is truly an honor for having you with us today. Thank you for your time and I hope you are doing well in this current pandemic.
Thank you so much, Amira. Nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from everybody. Good to be here and definitely I'm happy to share my knowledge. All right, good.
Okay. My name is Amira Arianti and I will be the MC and moderator for today. On
Sure,
behalf
Amira.
of the organizer, it is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the VSF Talk, Be a Leader, Not a Boss.
Yeah.
Well, when we are talking about leadership, there are many different interpretations and also expectations set by different individuals. For some people, they believe leadership is a sense of belonging and teamwork. Some reflects that it is the ability to mobilize people to contribute for a greater good of an organization. While they think that being a boss means the absence of these characteristics. Dr. Sharifah, do you agree with this? From your point of view, what are the definition of a leader and a boss and what draws the line between these two?
Okay, all right. Okay, first of all, I would like to give a brief introduction about what I'm doing. So, yeah, I am the CEO of MAPS Concept Holdings in Berhad, which is incorporated in 2005 until today, Alhamdulillah. And at the same time, I'm the president of AWITA NGO, which is a national NGO at a national level. We work very hard, and the main focus is women empowerment. We have three scope in our NGO. First scope is to focus more on the women empowerment, which is we have proven it by grooming 3 young girls from zero to a hero, from a nobody, zero knowledge about Antarctica, being an explorer, until they become the polar explorer as my protege, and we went to Antarctica recently. Okay, but good thing is that I did the selection all over Malaysia and I have 1,000 candidates qualified for it. And of course, they have to fight for the place lah. So we have many stages of challenges and yeah, the top 3 managed to go through all that. Okay, that's the reason why I'm explaining this. It's related to being a boss or being a leader. All right. And the third thing is that at the same time, I'm also a polar explorer. So polar explorer, I've been doing this as a full-time job. So it's like a job. All right. Why I said this like a job? Because I'm doing it first out of my own passion. And number 2, because I want to test my formula. I'm a psychologist, my profession as a psychologist. And I have created my psychological formula called MAPS Concept. So what is MAPS? MAPS is actually a mental, emotional, physical, social, and spiritual. So it creates a balanced human being, right? So when I was in Russia, I was invited to go to Russia for a World Congress on mental training with a mental training academy based in Sweden. So I presented my paper and I was challenged by all these seniors, all psychologists, and then they said, "Oh, Sharifah, your formula was so superb, but it looks nice on paper, but have you tested it on someone to see whether it really works? Because we don't want you to just become a preacher. We want more psychologists. We want more motivator who speaks from true stories. So it's more inspiring." So that's why I took a challenge in going to Antarctica to challenge myself with a minimum support, see whether I can go through that. All right. As probably just not behind the scene, I actually give a bit of briefing to the committee. So probably for the listeners now, just a brief of Antarctica information. So it's as big as the United States of America. The thickness of the ice is about 2.3 kilometers below. And we can only go in during summertime, which is the temperature supposed to be between -30 to -58, so 68 during summer. So we cannot go during winter because during winter it's going to be total darkness where the temperature can go as low as minus 128. So we cannot go during winter. So what happened? Doing Antarctica mission is not an easy task as well. It takes a full-time effort, energies, money. We need a team. So again, having a company, I have to lead as a CEO, and then having an NGO, I'm the president. I have to lead my NGO, and then being a polar explorer, even though I'm the one that doing it, but behind any success person, there's someone behind them. All right. So it's a choice that I want to take. Either I want to be a leader or I want to be a boss. So let's relate this in the real situation. All right. So you can see the differences between a leader and a boss. Simple to see the character that a leader normally are more friendly, show good example, lead the way, get everybody to understand what you are doing, all right? And basically get everybody to actually work work with you, not work for you. So bosses normally they want you to work for them. So hey, I'm the boss. You work for me. I pay for you. Go and do this work. All right. So that's why they call it the bossy. All right. So leaders, so they lead. When I say leaders lead, meaning that doing together. I lead means I do it, and people follow me. So we work together. That's the difference. Where the boss, they take charge. They say, you do, give instruction and all that. So throughout my whole life, leading these three big so-called industry, I cannot be a boss so much. Have to be a leader. Because what I'm doing is so tough that not everybody can understand. Not everybody can understand. When you don't have a strong drive to achieve something, you give up. Like not everybody wants to be a polar explorer. Amira, do you want to be in minus 50 Celsius for a month?
Maybe not for me.
Yeah, see, there you go. All right. Yeah, most people like to be in a comfort zone. Warm, nice, on a shelter or on a couch, watch TV, play games and all that. But to be in my position, I have no time to actually, even not so much time to mingle around, to loafing around, to enjoy social things, It has to be focused. I always on the tip top of everything. I have to be good. And I have to show good example. When I ask my staff to do something, I will take a lead. I will say, okay, look, this is how I want to do it. But the difference is I will always tell my staff or my team, if you can help me and do better than that, or will be perfecting. So that's the difference between a leader and a boss. Boss giving instruction, but leaders, we talk, we share knowledge, we share vision and mission. So same goes with what I'm doing now. You guys, if you are a leader, even in a social organization, all right, if you are behaving like a boss, you're gonna have a breakdown. You're gonna have a quarrel. You're gonna have like, hey, we are all students. Why are you being so bossy, right? Right. Especially when you do charity work, when you do voluntary work, no such thing as a boss. Yes, you're probably the president of the club. You're probably a secretary of the club. Yeah, but it's just to make sure that everybody has their own task and to do the work better. But stop being bossy. Okay, always being a leader. If you behaving like a leader anywhere you go, in normal life, in daily life, at home, with friends, at work, when you even do part-time, even though you work at McDonald's or whatever place you do, stop being bossy. You will be safe. You will be good. People will love you. You have more friends. You have followers. I have a followers who were actually, she was with me. This particular person, she was with me since 2006 when I did my North Pole. She missed my South Pole expedition. Right, I didn't know her during that time. Then I came back, and then we had this press conference and all that. So suddenly, and then I have a lot of talks. I've been going around all over Malaysia. So I met her in one of the events, and we become friends. And then she offers, she's an IT expert. She's also a doctor in IT. So we become friends, and she become my followers, and now we become a team, and she's part of my team in Awita, right? Since 2006, just imagine. All right. So even though I'm the president of Awita, but I try my best not to act as a boss. I always ask consensus from my team. What do you think? It's not that I have no confidence on my own decision, but that is the way a leader should actually speak to the subordinates, because subordinate or friends or team. All right. Yeah, that's basically simple to explain to you about being boss. You know,
See,
sometimes yeah, continue. Right.
I see that the thin line between the leader and the boss is actually the boss keeps on giving instruction, but the leader work together with the subordinates to
Very true.
achieve their mission.
Right.
So,
Simple,
Doctor,
simple that I can show you. Probably I can show the slides later on. Normally bosses will say, go, go. All right. But leaders, let's go. Let's
yes,
go. That's two different things. Two different meaning. Go meaning that you go now. You do this. You go there. You go this. You do this. That is instruction. Bossy, being bossy, point fingers. All right. But leaders always say, let's go. Let's do this. Let's. So when you say let's do this, all that, it shows that you lead. You take a lead. Hey, come, let's go. Come with me. Come to do. Let's do that. Let's do this. So that's the behavior of a leader. So these are the two things. By just having this word go and let's go, that's the differences between bosses, and that's what the silver line that you're looking for. Right.
I
Okay.
see. So we should, as an individual, we should be lenient towards being a leader than a boss. Is this correct, Dr. Sharifah?
Yes, it's true. Okay. Probably I can show you my slides if
Sure,
I
sure.
may. All right. Okay. I'll
Sure,
show you
Doctor.
this. All right. All right. Um, this is how I actually. Can you see my slides? Right. You can
Yes,
see,
yes.
right? Okay. Okay. This is. I just want to show to get you some excitement so that you can see how I did my expedition.
Sure, Doctor.
This is when I did my North Pole, and this is when I did my South Pole, and this is my Greenland. So just make is look at the picture. Look at me on my face. I have frostbite. This is so cold. It's so difficult. At the map here, you can see that I was actually right at the point of that red dot. I mean, right in the South Pole. So in order to be here, I need a team. All right. No matter I go solo, I go with the team, whatever. But behind me in Malaysia, I need a team. So I have to lead them to make them understand what I'm doing. If I'm just a boss and I say, okay, look for information, go and buy this equipment, go and buy that. People can never understand when they just take instruction, because being a boss, giving orders, go and buy this, go and do that, go and that. That's not going to work. You always end up fail. But if
True.
I am a leader, so I just bring my team, look, this is what I'm going to do. I explain to them. I shared my vision and my mission. This is what I did. A company is a team. My company, Maps Concept Holding, I treat my staff as a team. Hey, you are my team. You are Maps team. All right? And it takes effort to make the whole team as a good team. Okay, how I started my company and my NGO. I built a team. Whoever, even though I have practical student to come to do intern in my company, I'll bring her to my room. I speak to her or him. I explain the whole vision and mission, and then I will ask this girl or that boy. I'll say, okay, now you understand the whole thing? Okay, I want to ask you one question. Would you like to be in my office as an intern, or you want to be in my office as a fellow staff? How do you want me to treat you? I make this intern to answer me this first question. If he or she said, I want to be an intern, then I will just treat them as an intern, nothing more. Then I will behave like a boss because they just want to be an intern. All right. But if he or she said, I want to be a fellow staff, meaning that he or she wants to be my team, then include him or her into my team and make her understand the whole vision and mission, understand the whole thing, so that he or she knows where to go, what are we heading for. So he will have a clear picture, and more confidence about what she or he is supposed to do in my team, then this is where I will allow my staff to share values, to share their ideas. They are freely to talk. They can comment. They can actually give input. Not necessarily everything come from me. All right.
True.
Okay. So I have to show my confidence level, and I want them to have confidence in me as well. So I have to show confidence to overcome hardship and resistance, so that they have confidence in me. So I make impartial decision. Why? Because I want my team to come in as well and give some decision making. All right. I motivate them. Once in a while, I take them for lunch. When we achieve something, we celebrate. I always acknowledge my team success story. Even a small thing, when I say, okay, go and do this. And it's something that for me, probably he or she will have difficulties in doing that. But once they completed the task with success, I will like give some credit. So good job. Give a pat on the shoulder or give some remarks. And then normally most of the students that doing practical in my company, I have two options for them. If you just do like a so-so kind of performance, my senior staff will come up with a letter, congratulations, you have completed your practical study here in the company and wish you all the best. But I will tangle a carrot in front of that person. I say, look, I will personally sign a letter and give you a certificate if you do better than that, beyond the limit. So it's your choice. So at the end, if that person doing better, I will definitely give what I promised them. So then they will have a full commitment in whatever they are doing. And they try to make sure they understand. So in a way, I'm using my MAPS formula to boost the moral of my staff, to motivate them to be my team. Right? Okay, next is also I lead by example. I'm not boasting around, but I'm telling you, I'm sharing with you. Some people feel that, oh, okay, I am the national icon. I have this status. I am like, I've been meeting PM. I've been meeting all the ministers. And oh, so you have this big headed. You don't have to. Stay down to earth. So I will lead by example. No matter how difficult or how simple the thing is, I will show some example to them. I will coach them, make them understand. Because they are my team. If they fail, I fail. So I have to sing this together. All right. So after I make them as my team partner and make them understand clearly my vision and mission, I will also show them specific goals that I want them to achieve. First, I will tell them, okay, for NGO, our goals are this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as a subordinate, I want you to have a goal as well. And sync your goal with the NGO goals. Same goes to my company. Same goes to my expedition. All right? And I show good example. This is just to show you one good video when you have a specific goal and target.
Hit every target.
All right.
I see.
So, right.
So actually, Dr. Sharifah, lead by example, and we must have specific goal.
Correct. Very true. And same thing as this one, as I said just now, boss will say go, but leaders say let's go.
Let's go.
Right. And the leaders will be in the front. You see, the leaders will be in the front, but the bosses will be at the back. You see the two differences between these two?
Yes.
All right. This is a simple picture to make everybody understand. So bosses will always think like they are the slave master. So I don't like it. We work as a team. All right.
Yes, I agree, Doctor.
All right.
Well, I think that to be a great leader, we need to start by leading ourselves. In some circumstances, we may need to act and work beyond of our comfort zones. But for that sole reason, some people may feel like they are not prepared and worthy enough of being a leader. With that being said, Doctor, what do you think the attributes of a leader that they should practice from now to be more confident with themselves?
Okay, before I show my slides, ask yourself a few things. Anybody, whoever that on, I can see that there's 46 people are actually watching me now. Okay, ask yourself. All right, orang Melayu kata tepuk dada tanya iman, tanya selera. Okay, ask yourself, are you a leader? First of all, you ask yourself, are you a leader? Do you think that you are a leader in whatever you do? So number two, you ask yourself, are you a good leader? Number 3, ask yourself, can you be a good leader? All right. So the homework that I need you to do in order to find out whether you are a real leader or not, all right, you can write it down. We call it in psychology, we call it ink it down. Don't just like, orang kata congak-congak dalam kepala. Don't just like bayang-bayang, I think I'm good this, I'm good that. No, you cannot see that. Write on a piece of paper the characteristic that you have as a leader. All right, write down. Okay, probably I'm sharp, I'm dynamic, whatever you feel like about yourself. It's okay. Don't never think that people will see you short sendiri whatsoever. But only you know who you are until you show who you are to someone else. All right. So the best person to evaluate is you evaluate yourself. Self-evaluation. Write down the characteristic of a leadership that you have. Anything. And then write down as well the negative attitude that you have, the negative behavior, all right, that you have. As simple as that, self-evaluation. You see how many you have the positive side of a leadership skills, leadership style you have, and the negative one. If you have more, let's say you have more positive, like you have 10 and you have 3 negative, so the positive can undermine those 3 weaknesses. All right. So to me, in order to have a good leadership skill, normally leaders, there are 2 types of leaders. One, they are born to be one. And number 2, they are trained to be one. Then you can check, are you the one born to be one or are you trained to be one? Right? So, if you're born to be one, it's so much easier. So much easier because how to know that you are born to be one? Okay, those out there, the 53 people now, good, we can see the increasing of number. Now, how do you know that you are born to be one? Very simple. You can actually observe and check among your friends. If something like you have some organization and you have one event, you see who will automatically take a lead on doing something. Who will jump the gun and do something? Who will stand up and start do something? These are the natural leaders.
Who will kickstart everything?
Right. That is one of the characteristic that you are born to be a leader. And second characteristic born to be a leader, that who are the one that solve the problem? When messes come up, all right, when you have problem, who are the one that solve the problem? That is a natural leadership. All right. Leadership skill. All right. That's why if you are born to be one, at home, not necessarily you have to be the eldest in the family. You can be number 3, number 4, but you are the one that take a lead. So you are born to be a leader. Sometimes we have the oldest sister in the family, but she like so cute and becomes so timid and shy, and she cannot take a lead. But then the second or the third siblings are the one that take a lead and become like the big brother or the big sister. So that character is the real born to be one. All right. And born to be one, after that, it depends on your upbringing. It depends on how parents groom you. Some people, you are so lucky to have a parents who encourage you to be a leader, encourage you to take a lead, encourage you to explore, encourage you to do extra co-curriculum, extra things, just go out there and do something. That kind of background will actually boost you to be a good leader, because you have a lot of experiences in the family background itself. Okay, your surrounding is good, but some people, they need to be trained. When you see this character, the one that need to be trained is more difficult to manage. All right, because they need to be trained. So being a leader is not easy. It's not easy. It takes years to be a leader that been trained by someone. But it takes a very short term to build a leader if you're naturally born to be one. So ask yourself, okay, you should know. I cannot unless you come and see me, then I can actually do some evaluation. All right, let me share you this. You want the characteristic of a leader, right? Okay, let me share you my screen again. Right? Okay, right. All right. Okay. All right. This before that, I will just show you there are three types of leadership style, which is normally people will hear this. I believe that you also have heard about authoritarian or autocratic leadership, participative or democratic, and the other one is delegative or laissez-faire. You please, you all students, listen to these three characteristics, which I will make sure that when you understand this, you understand how to act. Okay, I'm going to close. I want to see you. Okay, all right. Now, the three characteristics: autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire. The differences, I would just explain that you don't have to read on my notes. All right. Autocratic is a boss. Simple way. Autocratic normally reflect as a boss. Autocratic is also like a detector. All right. You will like control the whole thing. You want everybody to work for you. Do. It's a boss character. That is autocratic. But sometimes it's good to be autocratic when times needed, when you have short time. Like for example, you guys, you are the organizer for this talk today. All right. When you are having ample time, you can do democratic. Like you plan, you talk, you ask opinion, you discuss, and you get consensus, right? Okay, that is what we call democratic. So everybody happy. You have ample time to discuss. But when to use the autocratic? When time's getting shorter, 20 minutes before airtime, right? Somebody got to take a lead. Hey, come on, guys. Come on. We have short time now. We have 10 minutes. Somebody will take a lead. And that boss, that character is a boss character. You need that character. You cannot use democratic when time is in the pressure, like a short period of time. You are rushing out of time. It's an urgent moment. You cannot be thinking, oh hey, that's an accident. Let's discuss what to do. Okay, no, you have to do something. Okay, so now you see the difference. How when to use autocratic, when to use democratic, and the best leadership that most people love is a leader who use laissez-faire. Laissez-faire meaning that a freedom. All right, a freedom. How? What do you mean by freedom? Okay, let's see. If I am the CEO of a company, when I have a job to be done, so I just call my staff. I said, Aini, come here. Okay, I have this job for you. Please complete this assignment. I'm going to give you like in 3 days time. How are you going to do it? How are you going to solve it? I leave it to you. I just want results. By 3 days time at 12 noon, come and see me, bring results and it's completed. That is laissez-faire. All right? Autocratic, you dictate. Okay, you have to sit here. You have to complete this. Show me every moment. What's the update? Blah, 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 blah. That is autocratic. Democratic, when I come, I need come here. I have this task in 3 days to complete. What do you think? Can you finish in 3 days time? Cannot. Okay, let's short. I give you more time. 4 days enough? So it's a discussion. You see? All right.
Two-way interaction.
Two-way interaction. But they all three leadership, there's a good and the bad. That's good and the bad thing about it. Now, autocratic is the worst because most staff, most teammates will be in a stressful mood. Being pressured, being dictated. People don't like it. Being bossy, people don't like it. All right. Democratic, if you use too much, people will feel that you are a weak leader.
True.
Because you keep on asking people, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? So it shows that you have no confidence level. Probably you have lack of knowledge. That's why you keep on asking people. Sooner or later, people will see that you are not a capable leader when you use too much of democratic. Laissez-faire is good. Everybody is happy. The boss is happy. The staff will be very happy as well because less pressure, more ample time. You can do whatever you like at your own pace. But if you use too much of laissez-faire, the worker or the teammates might take advantage. They might just cut and paste the work. They might just copy here and there. They might just ask someone else to do it. It's not their own effort. All right. So at the end, it will look bad on the leader, on the boss, because you didn't supervise your staff. Now, If you ask me just now your question, how do we differentiate this leadership style? What to do about it? The best thing is to combine. Never focus on one leadership skill. No, that will be very, very bad. And remember, whatever I'm talking now, because I know most of you here, you are all leaders. You are students. You're also leader at home. Probably you are the
Mm-mm.
eldest. Among friends, probably you are the most talkative, the most
Mm-mm.
influencer among all. Now, use all three in your life. Every day, every day, you can actually keep on changing your leadership style.
Mm-mm. I
The tip to do how to choose which leadership skill to use when you are desperate, when time is short, is urgent, it like somebody got to move on
Mm-mm.
with the work, and then you are already have a due date in a very short period of time. Somebody got to take a lead and use autocratic, make a decision and make final say. Use democratic when you think it's better, or what people say, two heads are better than one.
Mm-mm.
Discuss. Probably even though you're good, remember how good you are, there are more people who are better than you. All right. Probably you're
Mm-mm.
good at certain level, but knowledge is so vague, so huge.
Mm-mm.
We have to know a lot of things. How to know that we are actually having a good knowledge of what we are doing? Very simple. Use the trick. Use the 5W and 1H. Five wife and one husband.
Mm-mm.
Have you heard about it?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure that all
Where,
the
when,
question, yeah, where, when, how, who, where,
mm-mm.
why. Make sure
How?
that all the
Mm-mm.
question in how, yes. Make sure that all the question has been answered.
Mm-mm.
If you get all the answers, it will be much easier for you to take a lead or to be a
Mm-mm.
boss because you know everything. If there is
Mm-mm.
some vague information about it, if you are still 50-50 about it, this is where you should use democratic. Use democratic. Ask, discuss, get opinion, make a brainstorm. That's what the best thing to do. All right.
I see, doctor. So actually, we have to combine and balance this type of leadership.
Very true.
Mm.
And combine and use it according to a situation.
Situation. Yes.
According to a situation. And then laissez-faire is always the best. All right.
Mm-hmm.
People love it. Everybody love it. Less pressure. But
Mm-mm.
don't just do laissez-faire. Let's say you have a task, you give them 3 days. Once in a while, go and see that person, give a bit of information and be autocratic at that point of moment. When you see that they're not
Mm-hmm.
moving, I'm giving you 3 days, but now 2 days, nothing happened. And then they said, don't worry, boss, I have one more day to finish. No, that is the time you have to use autocratic. No, I want to see something in half an hour. Something
Mm-hmm.
in half an
Mm-hmm.
hour. Then you have to use that pressure. All
So it
right? So
depends on the situation, and we must observe the situation in order to choose which type to combine and to use our type of leadership.
very true. Very true.
I
That's
I
good.
think that this trait can help us in future, not just for our career undertakings, but also in life.
Yes, true. It's true.
Mm.
So you don't want
Doctor,
people to, yeah. Yes, please.
Doctor, I also believe that you have plenty of first-hand experience when it comes to leadership.
Yep.
Can you share with us how leadership traits played a major role in tackling all of the obstacles that you faced during your experience in the solo exploration?
All right. Okay. So leadership characteristic is actually a very crucial thing. Um, Whatever that I'm doing, I will choose the right people to be with me. You know, because when you want to do something very serious and it's a high level, it's an international level, I cannot simply pick randomly just like that. Definitely, I'll choose my team. Right. It's good. How to choose your team? Number one, volunteering. Open up for a volunteer first. You know why?
Mm-mm.
I love to have a volunteer in my career, in my life, in my company, in my NGO, because
Mm-mm.
naturally comes within them that they want to be part of it.
That's true.
That would be better. That would be
Mm-mm.
better because they willingly want to be in the team.
Mm-mm.
All right. But when people come for interview, they want to be in the team. There's two options. Number one, looking for job.
True.
Two, they want money. Three,
True.
I cannot judge their sincerity until they work for me. All
Mm-mm.
right.
True.
So I would love to see the volunteer work first. That's why every semester I will have an intern in my company. If they're good, I absorb. If they're not good, they have plenty of experience in my team. Or I can channel them to my friends, probably I recommend you to my friend's company and so on. All right. So let me show you, in order to explain more about the characteristic, let me show
Sure.
you the slides again. All right. Okay. Okay. These are the characteristics. I have 15 traits of excellent leaders trait. See whether you have this character in you. All right. Number 1, relatability. Meaning that who knows how to relate to everyone. If you don't have this character, it's going to be very difficult. You're going to be like a difficult character person. You know, you cannot relate to anybody. Meaning that you are just a person who will always say, it's me, me, me. It's all about me. Okay? You don't understand others. So that is going to be very difficult. When you have a team, when they speak, you don't understand their language because you cannot relate to them. And you keep on pressuring that follow me. So that is not going to be a very good trait. So avoid this kind of character if you want to be a leader. Number 2, maturity. You have to be mature. Being a leader, if you're not mature, then it's going to be very difficult. Normally, people who are not mature, they become very stressful and very bossy. You pick up something small and make it big, you know. And then to be mature, it doesn't mean that it comes with age. Sometimes old people also, they're not matured. Yeah? I've seen so many even older than me, but they're still not mature. They are so funny. They are so childish. All right. Small matter, they make it big and they don't want to stop it and they keep on continuing pressuring people and all that. So maturity is very important. So you can see the character of a good leader by seeing their maturity character. Obviously, you will see among all the characteristic of a maturity, you see very brotherly or very sisterly, very caring, very understanding, right? So these are the characters of a good maturity traits. Number 3, resilience. Resilience, ability to bounce back from a tough situation. All right. It's not many people will have this character. If you want to be a leader, all right, most people when they face a lot of difficult situation, either they give up or they put the pressure on others to handle it. That is normally a character of a boss. Blaming, blaming and blaming and blaming. And when something is happened and they cannot cope with the pressure and they say, okay, that's it. Drop the whole thing, call it off, give up. So
Instead of solving it.
Betul, instead of solving it or instead of trying to find ways to handle it, all right? This character, if you don't have a resiliency in you, you don't have the ability to bounce back after a tough situation. Most people, they just love for good things that happen. They just want to have a glory. They just want to have a success story. Once they fall, like for example, nowadays, now during this MCO, there's a lot of companies that fall down. A lot of company being closed. A lot of company bankrupts. A lot of people being terminated. They've been given a letter and said, okay, I have to unemploy you now for now because we can afford to pay your salary and so on. So if you have this resiliency in you, a natural resiliency trait in you, you will be able to bounce back. That's why you look at the people, some people when they lost their job, they do better in fact by probably doing online business. They maximize their potential doing something that they're good at, singing, cooking, whatever. All right. So very important to have this resiliency. Number 4, accountability. All right. A great leader knows how and when to take blame and accountability for their team. A lot of bosses, when even you have a team in university and activities, you have a team. Bosses normally just blame. Hey, this is your fault, not my fault. It's your fault. You do this, you do that. Blame and blame and blame. But a great leader, they will say, no worries, I'll take a blame about it. I will responsible for that. That is a good leader. because you are the leader. Your team having some problem. Take the blame about it. It's okay, come guys. If you can take the blame and accountability about it, you will patch back the broken glasses. You can bring back everybody back to you and say, okay, look, we make a mistake. It's okay, your mistake is our mistake. Your mistake is my mistake. I'm the leader. Come, let's brainstorm and see how we can actually move on and do something else. And trying to correct the situation. Number 5, stability. No, it got to do, stability is something to do with the psychological character. All right, stability meaning that you are a calm character. You can actually erase all those storms. I call it storms in life, pressure, problems, whatever emotion, negative emotion. All right, you change that, and when you are so stable, you can actually make yourself calm and make the people around you feel calm using both emotion and passion. If you have passion in your character, you can have this stability. If you don't have this, when situation comes, this is where everybody feels so pressure. Everybody feels that, oh, this character is so much too much for me to take it. You make situation get worse. All right. So good leaders, you always stay stable. 6. Yes. Any question?
This is actually wonderful. Can we actually get the slides after this, Doctor, to learn
Sure,
more
sure.
about?
You
And
can have it. Yeah, I would just charge you $10 per piece.
and I see that there's a 15 traits of a leader for a
Right.
leader. And
Right.
to summarize it, maybe
Mhm.
the first one is actually relatability. The
Mm,
second one is maturity. The third one is
yeah,
resilience,
yeah,
accountability,
yeah,
stability. And I
yeah.
think there are thirds for knowledge, adaptability,
Right.
insecurity,
Yes.
and then
Humility,
also humility, simplicity,
simplicity. Yes.
and also helpfulness,
Yeah.
sense of humor,
Right.
introversion,
Right.
positivity, and
Right.
also enthusiasm.
Yes.
Doctor,
Very
maybe can
true.
you can share with us the slide after this to learn more about all the 15 traits.
Sure, sure. I will give it to you. You can actually share with your audience
Mm-hmm.
about this. And okay, since you have mentioned all that, and I put number 15, enthusiasm, that can covers the whole 15. All right.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Why I said right. Why I said it can covers everything? It's very
Mm-hmm.
simple. Let me stop sharing. Let me see. All right. Enthusiasm mean that you are like so positive. The
Mm-hmm.
way you speak, the way you talk, the way you behave, you are so enthusiastic. Alright, orang kata melompat-lompat no. You are so like energetic. Uh, Let me show you how I talk. Now I talk with enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
I use hands, I use body language, I use face
Mm-hmm.
expression. You have to
Especially.
be good. You have to be a leader. I
Mm-hmm.
encourage people. I use face animation, and I use into my intonation of my communication is like I have high pitch, low pitch. That is
Mm-hmm.
enthusiasm. Even whatever you do, even it comes in the character that when you take a lead,
Mm-hmm.
people can see how enthusiasm you are. You go
True.
first, you do work, you're so good at whatever you're doing. All
Mm-hmm.
right. But this is the opposite of enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. This is how I'm going to talk. To become a leader, you have to be good. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be mature.
True.
And um, do you see the character that I'm doing now? I'm
Mm-hmm.
showing you the contradict of enthusiasm
Mm-hmm.
and the other way around. So,
Mm-hmm.
which is more interesting? A person who talk with face animation, with enthusiasm, and with good voice and a good communication skills, compared to someone who is just mumbling, like
Mm-hmm.
I want to help you, but you have to be
Mm-hmm.
good as well. Mumbling, you don't
Mm-hmm.
know what they are talking about. There's no face expression,
True.
and not forgetting the outlook.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be beautiful, but look smart. You don't
True.
have to be handsome, but you look clean,
True.
pleasant looking,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't have to wear expensive clothes,
Mm-hmm.
but good enough that that clothes is good on you.
Mm-hmm.
All
Please
right?
to the eyes.
Yes. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Sejuk mata memandang. So you have to have all it, and people will love it. All right. If people, it's very simple. When you talk to people, see their eyes. If they don't want to look at you, there's something wrong. All right. If they
True.
look at you and they smile, they enjoy looking your face, that is a good sign. All
Mm-mm.
right. So add on this enthusiasm with 15 characters of a leaders that I've already shown you the traits. You're gonna be an excellent leader. But remember, as a human being, you're not perfect.
Betul.
No matter how good you are, no matter how 15 or even you have 20 or 40 good traits of a leadership, you're still not perfect. Only Allah is the one that perfect. All right.
Yes, I
So
agree, Doctor.
yeah, allow
Mm-mm.
yourself to have a space to go and look for more knowledge to improve yourself. That is a
Mm-mm.
good leader. Leader always, just now remember I said thirst for knowledge.
Mm-mm.
Leaders always thirst for knowledge. You must
Mm-mm.
always keep on upgrading your knowledge and share your knowledge with your subordinates. Share your
Mm-mm.
knowledge with the team. All right.
Mm-mm.
Then you will feel good about it. All
True.
right.
Yes,
Okay. Next,
Doctor.
next question.
Well, apart from that, communication is also one of the most important aspect in an organization. Actually,
Right.
the ability for us to speak, to write, and
Right.
also to convince people that our
Right.
idea is worth listening. Not only
Right.
that, I think it also requires us to accept and acknowledge other people's point of view too.
Betul.
Doctor,
Right.
from your personal perspective, what are the key points to ensure a high level of tolerance with our teammates in achieving
Mm.
the same goal?
Okay, the answer is very simple. A good communication skill.
Mhm.
A good communication skill. Because a lot of failures comes from a failed communication skill. You fail to deliver. Now, communication, a lot of people, they have misunderstanding about communication. They thought communication is just a verbal. They thought
Mhm.
communication is just by talking. You are wrong. Communication is a two-way communication. Two things that should happen. Talk and listen. When
True.
you talk, someone need to listen. When someone talks, you need to
You need
listen.
this. Mhm.
Then a real communication happens. But like I said, bosses will always like you. I talk, you listen.
Mhm.
All right. So then it won't be a good communication
Mhm.
situation that time. It's only one way traffic. All right.
Mhm.
In order to have a good communication skill, I will teach you one way of one technique that I use in my psychological training. But
Mhm.
before that, later on I give you the slides. That's a six elements that you all should learn in order to
Mhm.
speak better. Number one,
Mhm.
before you talk, know yourself. That is number one.
True.
Before you talk, please know yourself. What do you mean by know yourself? Make sure you know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Make sure you have a good knowledge of your subject.
Mhm.
All right. Make sure that if you want to take a lead of something, you know what you're talking about. You know the whole thing. You have the answer for all the 5W and 1H,
Mhm.
so that you don't talk nonsense. So
True.
know yourself, meaning you know your level, your knowledge level. All right. Then
Mhm. Mhm.
nobody will dispute you. All right.
Mhm.
Number two, you have to know your audience.
Mhm.
Why? That's why when before we go for this talk, I ask you who are the audience, right? Remember?
Mhm. Yes.
Right? I ask your team, who are the audience? Will your supervisor or your lecturer be in this group?
Mhm. Mhm.
Who else beside the school student and the university students? I did ask you that.
Mhm.
Why? Because I need to know who's my audience. I
Mhm.
need I need to know to whom am I speaking to, so that I
Mhm.
can speak to their language. So I
True.
know now here the students, all right, you said in English. So
Mhm.
I try to level up so that my language is quite simple. I use a
Mhm.
simple terminology that everybody can actually understand. I
Mhm.
don't use a psychological terminology which make you guys confused. All
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
So I know my risk. And at the same time, when you communicate, remember one thing. Sometimes people in front of us have a better knowledge than you are.
True.
You will
Mhm.
never know their knowledge. Because knowledge you cannot
Mhm.
check. You cannot see, oh, ni muka pandai ni mesti banyak ilmu. No. Alright?
Mhm.
Here doesn't show anything. But of course,
True.
with knowledge, you will appear confidence.
Mhm.
Alright? But what is inside the brain, nobody knows.
Mhm. Mhm.
Probably that person reads more than you.
Mhm.
Probably that person has a better life experience than you are. So don't talk nonsense. And then sometimes you don't know because people never, let's say, I do a lot of talks, local and international. So I always be mindful of all this because I don't want to speak beyond my own limit. I don't want to speak nonsense. If that is not my area, I would just say, okay, probably I'm not so good, but I know a little bit I can share. But probably you guys are much more better than me. You can put up your hands and share your knowledge. All right. So make sure you know your audience because before you make any blunder of your stuff. All right. Number 3, when you speak to friends, when you speak to your team, be direct, specific, and clear. Don't go around the bush. You're wasting time. All right? Be direct, specific, and clear. How to make sure that you are doing this? Very simple. As a leader, when I give instruction, I give it with this direct, specific, and clear. Then, to make sure that they really understand me, I will ask back. Like, Amira, you recap. Try to recap now. Try to recap now, Amira.
The first one is you know what you're talking about, the
Yeah.
5W1H, know your
Yeah.
audience.
Yes.
And then the third one, be direct, specific, and clear.
All right, good. So I will ask my team to recap whatever that I'm talking about. So I try to minimize my whatever sentence that I'm using because when I want to give instruction, I try to be direct. Then when I ask back, you can reply back to me with the exact input that I give. Then meaning that my communication is good. But if my communication is bad, you don't understand me, it's very simple. You can see from the face expression, like pening kepala, you can see like mumbling like, I think, that means
True.
you don't pick up. Then again, a good leader, don't blame the person that listened to you. Blame yourself because your input is not clear. If your input is clear, she will definitely pick it up. As simple as that.
I agree,
Unless that,
doctor.
yeah. Okay. The fourth one is pay attention to a non-verbal communication. Just now we talk about it's nice to have a face-to-face training motivation program. Why? Because you can see the non-verbal communication, the nervous mannerism, the nodding that's not good enough. You have to see that in person so that you know what the person is trying to do. Like for example, when you are on the phone, when you call your subordinate, something happened, you scolded and the event is failed, for example. All right. So that person cry. So she probably is in a silent mode, crying but in a silent mode. You don't hear the sobbing and all that. So you call, Amira, are you okay, Amira? So Amira said, yeah, I'm fine. But the tears are all over the face. Can you see it? You cannot see it. That's why look at the non-verbal. Sometimes some people they are sad but they smile. This is recorded like a split personality trying to behave didn't want to show the actual feelings. So pay attention to the non-verbal. That will help you speak better to your subordinate. Number 5, listen more than you speak. Listen more than you speak. All right. Give way to your subordinate, your friends, or whoever that in front of you that you are talking to speak back, to talk back. So listen more. If you feel that like I know I have like one discussion, all right? I've already tell everything about what I want to say. Make sure a leader give away more time to the subordinate to also speak. All right. If you just one way speaking, then a boss just speak, give instruction, blah 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 blah, and then finish meeting. It's going to be a totally failed communication system in that community because you don't listen.
True.
Right.
After all, communication is the key, right, doctor?
Right. It's always the key because.
But even so, doctor, sometimes communication can also cause misunderstanding that may lead to conflict. So, from your experience, doctor, how do we actually deal with a conflict in an organization, well, to suit the best interest for all?
Okay, you go back to number 3. Be direct, specific, and clear. Miscommunication when you speak, you are not speaking directly, not specific, and it's not clear. That's why when you talk, you always pause for a short while and say, "Am I clear? Do you understand me? Can you repeat? Can you just recap just to make sure that before I go further, that I just want to listen that you are really listening and you understand what I'm trying to say." Do that all the time so that you avoid misunderstanding. But if you keep on talking, let's say you have 10 topics, you speak 10 topics at one shot, that's definitely going to have a lot of misunderstanding or a lot of breakdown. Okay? Don't be too ambitious that you want to talk everything at the same time. We listen, go back to, that's why these are the rules, the 6 things that I'm giving you, they are the rules when you want to speak. And then remember your audience. Not everybody can pick up. Probably not everybody can understand English. Sometimes in the team, we have someone who probably a bit poor in English. All right? Or the pronunciation is not good. So you have to, like, if you have 10 items to talk, probably take one at a time, recap. One at a time, recap. And then ask everybody, are you okay? You can also see the mannerism, the non-verbal. If let's say you know that one of them not good in English, try to mention the name. Try to say, hey Aini, is it okay for you? Do you understand? Do you want me to explain in Malay? It's okay to do that because they are team. Okay? Always bring them close to you. Bring them join you. Never leave them behind. If you see anybody who start feeling sleepy, all right? You see someone start feeling sleepy, you can see that yawning and cover the mouth. You can see that, all right? So that is the trick. That's how I always pick up people who wants to fall asleep in my classroom or whatever I do. I will call the name. They will like, okay, I'm waiting. Okay. So in my classroom, if I can find someone fall asleep, that person dapat hadiah tau. It's like my testimony is very difficult to find people fall asleep because I always bring them with me. They will join me. They will be with me. Okay. Last but not least, the last skill is like when you speak in the communication skill, be positive and respectful. Be positive all the time and respectful. Again, this to cover up, to recap the whole 5 items I already mentioned earlier on. Be positive, meaning that when you speak with the positive words, with a positive sentence, with a very enthusiastic, with a character that you want to show, you portray good image, you speak good language, all right? And always positive, definitely avoid swearing and all that. And your voice is always with a good intonation, all right? Like when you want to pressure certain things that you say with the word and also the face expression, that we have to do this. You have to be strong. Don't worry. Think positive. You are going to be good, girls. All right. You have to do that. That is positive. All right. And then respectful. Don't push people beyond their capability. They will feel very intimidated and they feel like, wow, this is too much for me. I cannot cope. Don't put too much pressure on people when you speak. Always ask again. Keep on asking. Are everybody good? Are you guys with me? Are you at my level? Are you at same level with me now? Are we good? Until they feel good. All right. Okay. That is the 6 rules of communication. If you can do this in your daily life, with your lecturers, with everybody, you're going to be in a good book. Trust me. All right?
I see. In order to handle a conflict in the best way, we must always be direct, specific, and clear. Most importantly, recap and ask everybody is they okay and try to help everyone in your team.
Yes.
For my last question, Doctor, well, I know that our topic for today is be a leader, not a boss. But Dr. Sharifah, from your point of view, can a person be both a leader and a boss?
Yes, they can. Both a leader and a boss. I do both characters at the same time. As I said, you will change according situation. Remember just now I give you 3 leadership styles?
Yeah.
So I will change according to situation. Like for example, when I let's talk about my NGO. When I prepare my team to search for talent all over Malaysia, to look for talent to be my protege, we go all over Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak to do talent search. So that time, I was the leader. I talk to my team, I explain, I demonstrate on how to do the search, how to do the testing, how to do the to fill up the forms and everything. We do it together. We go every state by state. At night we have dinner together and brainstorm again, and then we move on again. We drive together. We do everything as I work as a leader. But when comes situation where things are getting more tougher and tougher. From 1,000 is like, okay, quite common. Like everybody can be in. I just give them certificate. When it comes to like top 15. That is already crucial, that everybody wants to be my protege. Everybody wants to go to Antarctica. So there is no such thing as we can take things easy. This is the time sometimes I have to be a boss. I say, come on, guys, you have to really read their resume. You have to really look for things that I
The
need.
best one.
The best. I don't want to miss any point of. I don't want to get any mistake, any point that we miss out. So it's not good. Okay. Then we go for a challenge in Genting Highland. We put them in the snow world. Okay, guys, make sure that the temperature is good. Make sure the food is there. I dictate things. I want things to be okay because why? It comes safety, life, the insurance. I have to be a boss. I have to dictate everything.
True.
All right. But after that, we have fun. We become. I enjoy being a leader rather than being a boss.
True.
Right, because normally a leader, they have a lot of followers.
Yes.
Okay, but bosses, nah. they do have followers because they
It
want
is
to
rough,
stand up.
bro.
All right, yeah.
Yes.
So, right. So yeah, that's how I did. From my point of view, it's good. It's okay to be both, but not too much of a boss. More to a leader. Probably 70% of a leader and 30% for boss. All right. And the 3 leadership style is combined. Maybe 60% of democratic or 50% democratic, 30% of laissez-faire, and 20% for autocratic. Something like that. It is combined. All right. That is an ideal leadership style.
Thank you, Doctor. It is true after all. We can always be a boss and a leader, but
Yep.
always try to balance the both of it so that we
Yep.
can be a great leader that actually empowers others to become better.
Very true. Very true.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hajah Sharifah Mazlina Said Abdul Qadir, for the sharing and interesting talk. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will move on to Q&A session. For any of you that want to ask any question, feel free to type it in the live chat. I will now open the floor for questions. Our live chat is actually overwhelmed with questions.
Sorry.
From Shafika, our first question. In your 20s, what was your first step to improve yourself in terms of leadership?
Okay, in my 20s. For your information, I'm a very, very, very busy person since I was small. I started to represent my school when I was 11. Right, I started to represent the country in Majlis Sukan Sekolah Malaysia since I was in Form 3, Form 4. All right, so my life, I never stopped doing something. I'm a very hyper energetic character. So that gives me, with my upbringing, that my father always encouraged me to do something beyond my limit, and always stopping my sisters to undermine me by saying, takut, jangan buat. That will never happen. I have a broad foundation. I can do a lot of things when I was young. So I climb trees, I cycle, it's okay, do anything. So the first step to improve my leadership is by being a leader in my house. Even though I'm the fourth in my family, I always take a lead. I always take a lead in doing something. So end up my sister become a very nice, cute sister, my eldest. So she become like a youngest in the sibling. I have a character of like more the outgoing and more dominant that time. All right. And I enjoy being given a task to do something. So if I were you at your age, 20s, try to take a lead. Try to take a lead. Don't just be a follower. You know, if you keep on being a follower forever, you're going to be a follower. Make a first move, make a first step to be a leader. If the task is too big, break it down. Take one at a time. That will bring confidence in you. Otherwise, if you take too big chunk of the task and you cannot do it, and you're going to give up and say that, oof, I'm a loser. That is not good then. So, how are you going to do about that? Very simple. Use the 5W and 1H. Always find knowledge before you do something. Like for example, if let's say you said, I want to be, I want to have my own YouTube talk show, right? Okay. Then Find the 5W and the 1H. Get all the answers. Why you want to do that? What kind of talk show you want to do? Where? How? Who? Get all the answers. Once you get all these answers by the 5W and 1H, I can bet you're going to be the most confident person on earth. Because you know what you're going to do. You know everything. And as simple as when you present it, try to present to your friends first and then see whether she or he understand what you're talking about. If there's more question, then say, why you want to do this? Why you going to support? Where is your studio? There's more question being asked. That means your preparation is not good enough. Your leadership is not there yet because you cannot lead. If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead others. So whatever you do, make sure that you know everything that you're doing. Make sure you get all the 5W. Guys, girls out there, please listen. Whatever you do in life, make sure you have the 5W and 1H. Everything. Because you know why? When you have the 5W and 1H in hand, you can actually avoid failure. You can actually learn the mistakes. You can actually learn the pro and the cons at the same time. Because you get all the knowledge. Once you have all the knowledge in hands, the good and the bad, what will happen to you? Your level of confidence will increase because you know everything. When people ask, fingertips, you can answer. Level definitely will increase. Show your ability. Leadership will come naturally. You, as I said, you are born with a leadership skill or you are trained to be one. All right? But with 5W and 1H, both kind of leadership can improve yourself naturally. So the first step is please look for knowledge. The 5W and 1H. All right?
Thank you, Doctor. Maybe we can move on to the next question.
Yes, please.
From Muhammad Ishraq, what are your thoughts on potential leaders taking a back seat and allowing for fellow colleagues to shine?
That's too nice to be true leaders. Okay, that is too nice. That is too nice. That is too orang kata pemimpin terlalu baik. Okay, that's to me that's two things. All right, if you think that you have a potential leaders, that you are potential leaders but taking a backseat and allow fellow colleagues to be shine. If you are already a mentor like me, I've been to South Pole, I've been to North Pole and Greenland. I've done that and I've already a polar hat-trick record holder. All right. So what else do I want to do? Do I want to go to Antarctica and make a record again? I don't want it. I don't have to. Why should I waste my time? So I will take a back seat and allow my fellow colleagues, my protege to go. All right. So you can do that and make them shine because we want more leaders. We want more young leaders. That's why my NGO is on women empowerment, not forgetting the men, but that time we do women empowerment, men included. Okay, so if you already have everything, it's fine to allow your fellow colleagues to shine. But a good leader, if let's say you have a team, okay, and in your team, in your NGO, in your organization, you have many scope. Let's say for the youth, all right, you have like kebudayaan, the debate, you have drama, you have anything, many activities in your organization, that is okay. Let whoever good at that certain area, let them shine. You are still the president of the club. You get the good name as well. You see, all you have to do is to be more smart, right? So if you control everything, if your organization has so many partitions, compartments of things that you want to achieve, if you just want to control everything, you're not going to go anywhere. You don't get anything. So then you will be more superb leader and people will see you that, wow, that boy, that Muhammad Ishra is so good that you allow your subordinate to shine. You are real true leaders because you support them, because they have their own skills that you think that you cannot do all that. Let them do. But you can also make sure that you are a leader in front that encourage them to go. Like sama-sama lah. My way of doing this, and in my MAPS formula, I have this program called Be a Leader Like an Escalator. You get what I mean? Okay, be a leader like an escalator. Can you imagine escalator?
Yes.
That the staircase, the automatic staircase that go up. Okay, what do you think? That escalator is actually a leader. They go up all the time and they bring everybody together. It's just that whoever at the front or at the back, but everybody goes up. So have that kind of thinking. Yeah, Muhammad Ishraq, if you think that you want to have your fellow colleagues to shine, then you are having a thinking like an escalator. You sacrifice yourself, you carry them up and they shine. All right. Make sure that the one that has already been, the one that you bring up, they remember you lah.
True.
All
Absolutely,
right.
doctor.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, doctor. Okay, maybe
Okay.
we can move to next question.
Sure.
From Tasnimul Islam, some theories say being extrovert is very crucial to be a leader. Is that true? Can introverts become leader?
Oh, okay. All right. So we always that is what Tasnimul Islam.
Tasnimul.
Okay, Tasnim. Wow, what a unique name. Good.
Yes.
I thought it's Testimony Islam. Okay. Okay, Testimul, nice name. Good to hear from you. All right. Extrovert and introvert. Okay, some theory says being extrovert is very crucial to be a leader. Can introvert become one? Yes, they can. All right. All right. A lot of if everybody in the industry are extrovert, who will listen?
True.
Like communication. You talk, I listen. I talk, you listen. So when everybody is extrovert, it's going to be haywire. So in a team, it's good to have introvert as well. That's why let's look in Malaysia. We have politicians who can speak like a real extrovert. But we have the ulama, the ustaz. Their character, they are kind of introvert, but they mix with leaderships and knowledge. All right. So introvert is just a psychological character, but you can enhance the character of introvert with knowledge. That's why let's look at this. When I studied in Canada, I think in Malaysia also you know about nerds, right? Nerds. Have you heard of nerds? All right. They are like a real mathematician, science. You guys are mathematicians. Big glasses, like no social skills and all that, right? Right. Probably in a social environment, they are introvert. But when it comes to work, when it comes to science, when it comes to presenting papers and whatever they are good at, look at their characters. They become extrovert because they know what they're doing. They're good at it and they have confidence in it. Yeah, they are extrovert deep in them because naturally they are born and the upbringing that make them become introvert, right? But this introvert can become extrovert depending on situation, right? As long as you are a natural human being, whatever your characteristic, extrovert, introvert, normal, stable, or whatsoever, people change according situation. This changes in psychology, we call it state personality. All right, we have two kind of personality in life. One we call traits personality. One is states personality. Trait personality is like you are born with it and develop with the upbringing in the family. Then become whoever you are. All right, who you are now is you're born with it, your character, the trait, and because of the upbringing throughout your life, become whoever you are now. But the state personality is a character where people change at all time. You are encouraged to have tons of state personality. For example, if you go to kedai mama, you speak mama. Mama, roti canai satu, you speak mama. Alright? Then you go to Chinese shop, suddenly, even the Chinese can speak full Malay, but apa itu kasih ini satu why you speak like that? You change. Then when you see the Indonesian, they speak Indonesian. Bibi, nggak balik ya? Kemana ya? You speak Indonesian. This is what I call state personality. You are encouraged to have state personality as many as you want. It makes you become a versatile character. All right? It's more nice. But normally the introvert character is very difficult for them to change so much because they are so introvert. Right? But that doesn't mean that they cannot be a leader. They can be a leader when come to a specific task that we need people like them. So if you are being judgmental and say only extrovert can be a leader, then it's not right. Yeah. According to their nature of their expertise, yes, they can be excellent. Yeah.
I see. Thank you, Doctor.
Right.
Okay, we have our next question
Mm-hmm.
from Farhana Azhar. How do we handle disagreements between members?
Okay. Hi, Farhana Azhar. Okay, good question. I think you have a lot of disagreement between members. Okay, hope this answer will help you. Okay, disagreement, if you look at the 6 skills of communication, the one I say, the disagreement will happen starting from misunderstanding, definitely. Okay, when they don't, because it's two-way communication. The first, when you speak, you have to speak, like I said, you have to speak, you make sure that you speak clearly, direct and specific. All right, direct, specific and clear. So for yourself, you have already made yourself clear. But for the person who listens, they have to listen the same mode as you are. They have to make sure that they pay attention, they listen clearly, and they understand what you are talking about. That's why it's good to recap whatever that you are saying. It's good to recap. Even though you have arguments, all right, disagreements, but when you are trying to straighten up things, when you explain, you said, look, let's say A and B. Hey, A, look, this is what I'm trying to say. You recap with a mode of speaking that don't go so rush on telling them. I said, look, this is what I am telling you just now. 1, I said this. 2, I said this. 3, I said this. Are you clear? I never said anything else. You recap and you explain. That's how you handle disagreement. Then you can say, look, make a disclaimer in advance. Look, this is what I understand about what you said just now. Okay? And you can say, first of all, I'm sorry if I got you wrong. I'm sorry if I misunderstood this whole situation. But this is how I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. When you say that, that person is already going to be sober. Okay, the energy is going to go subside, definitely. Okay, you play a bit of psychology impact there. Okay, I know you're right, but let me explain. Let me recap whatever you say. Okay, from my understanding, you said A, blah blah blah. You said B, blah blah blah, and you said C, this. Am I right or am I wrong? So if I'm wrong, please explain to me which one. Be specific. Tell them. Be specific which one that I said it wrong or I got it wrong. That's how you handle disagreement. If the situation become worsen, that you cannot talk, the best solution is, I will give you another tips which not in my notes that I'm going to pass to Amira, is use yin and yang. Okay, yin and yang. Okay, yin and yang. Okay, someone talk, someone listen. Okay, so when you talk, get this person to listen. And number 2, yin and yang is always the opposite of each other. So if this one is angry, have a fist, this one open hands. Sorry. You see, it's a positive energy and negative energy play a role at that moment. That is how you handle disagreement. Okay? When that person is so angry, you keep your mouth shut. Just listen.
Become the water.
Become the water. So water and fire. Yes, you're right. So yin and yang is always you play along with the situation. It's like playing badminton. One playing tennis. One hit the ball. One receive the ball. But how you going to receive it? If everybody smash, it's no game. All right. So you have to play the rally. So it's more nice, and at the end you relax. So take it easy. All right. I know you are all young. What they call hot blood. Okay. So need a bit of maturity. If you keep on argue, then you're not going anywhere. You're wasting your time. All right. Remember, life is too short. So don't create a lot of enemy. Have more friends.
True, Doctor.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we can Maybe we can pick 2 more questions. Okay. Next question from Hema Shankari. Hi, Doctor. How to be
Hi.
focused on work as a female leader despite of family problems and personal problems?
All right. Hi, Hema. Hi, what Shankari. All right. Hi, Shankari. Now, um, you are so focused on problems, family problems and personal problems. So try to revert your words. In life, if we focus so much on the words that is negative, that's gonna be the main focus of your brain. Okay. Let me teach you something in psychology in my MAPS formula. Our brain, for example, like an example, the brain, when you have no problems, your brain sector can open up to 360 degrees, meaning that when you have no problems, you can think about anything. You can do about anything. You can read, you can laugh, you can talk, you can run, you can watch TV, you can think. Even sometimes when people are so free and they don't have any problem, they start thinking, why the lamp shape is like that? Why the grass is like that? They think all of those unnecessary things because they are so free. They are so relaxed. That shows your brain is so fine. No problems, that no trigger of anything. But the moment you have problems, trust me, the brain will shrink down, it's close up to
True.
the smallest degree that focuses more on that only. That you cannot think about anything else. You just focus thinking about that particular problem. If that problem is so crucial, if that problem is so serious about you, and if you think so much, all right? So that's why in life, try to solve whatever small thing, that just let it go. Right? If you think so much of problems, you can never go anywhere. So in order to be a leader, all right, you have to learn on how to segregate your thinking. All right, be professional. Professional things, finish at work. When you go home, change your head, you become a family person.
True.
If you bring everything back to home, then you have no life. If you like the suit of a worker, of a leader, if you go home and you still want to be a leader, you're gonna have big quarrel because you have, let's say for example, you have a husband. If you have mother, then you overrule your mother. Look, I'm a leader, you're just mother. Wait. Okay? Or your father says something, that you're gonna argue with your father. That's why argument happens in family. When you cannot segregate your tasks, when you cannot actually make sure that put aside family matters when you go to office, and put aside office matter you go back home. So you have to be, this is where the state personality, the one I mentioned, you have to diversify your state personality. You go home, you become what? Sister, mother, wife, or husband, brother, whatever. Change your character and forget about something else. Don't bring work to home, don't bring home to work. As simple as that. Put that guidelines, you'll be safe. Like for me, I'm handling 3 major tasks. I'm the CEO of company, I am the president of NGO, I'm also the national icon. All right. So when I go to office, I put aside my image as a national icon. Otherwise, I feel like everybody must please me and so on. Oh no. Go to office, I become a leader in the office. I work with my staff. I make sure that everything is done. I make sure that I come as the CEO of Macomset. I don't need that. So when we go for my NGO, you have to remember my NGO, our team, we are all having our own company. We come together as an NGO team members, but all of us, we are the CEO of a company. Just imagine that. So I have to make sure that I don't behave like a CEO, because my team is also a CEO. So it's gonna be a battle of CEO rights there. All right. So put aside my company, okay, forget about CEO. Now here we work as an NGO. That's why if you follow my Facebook, Awita Facebook, we go down to the grassroots. We go and see the poor. We go see the gelandangan. Forget about, oh, this is a CEO, terus jumpa gelandangan, bagi makan. No, no we don't. Sweep the floor, I help, whatever, because we put aside all our position. So that's what you have to do, yeah, Shankari. Make sure that you know what to do. Don't mix up everything, and try not to focus so much on problem. And maybe one tips that I can give to you, how to know what problem is the crucial problem that we have to focus, because a lot of people, they have so many problems, right? I believe that every individual, at least you have more than 2 problems in life, more. But sometimes the small one is the one that you're supposed to handle, not the big one. So how to know which problem to handle first and to solve it so that it won't disturb your mind? Very simple. I'm going to give you this trick. Tonight, you go to sleep, you take a piece of paper, a notepad with a pen, put at the side of the table beside your bed. Go to sleep. First thing in the morning when you wake up, first thing that come across your mind that you straight away wake up and you think about it. That is the problem that you're supposed to handle. That is the problem you're supposed to handle. Even though you have 4 or 5 problems, the first thing that came out in your mind when you wake up in the morning is the crucial. You know why? Because the brain, as a human being, God has created the brain with auto function. They will tell you which one you're supposed to handle. So the best way is wake up, first thing came out, that is the one handled first. You finish that problem, you handle that problem, trust me, you feel good about it. The rest becomes so small. All right? Do that. So I hope this answer will help you, Shankari.
Thank you, Doctor. Okay, we will go to our last question.
Right.
From Farhana. How do we actually improve the ability of our team members while being accountable for any faults that occur in our work progress?
Okay. How can you improve the ability of our team members? No, you are talking about someone else. All right? You are talking about someone else. Now, in life, there are 2 things that we can do. We are talking about, now you are talking about problem solving. All right? You're talking about problem solving. There's 2 ways of doing it. This is to make sure that you can actually ease your pain in your heart. One, that problem you can solve. 2 is the untapped problem. You cannot touch that problem. You cannot solve that problem. Okay. Problem and you cannot solve the problem. What you going to do? Again, you can take a piece of paper, write it down. Problem you can solve and problem you cannot solve. Okay? Put it down. For example, in life you have 6 problems. 1, problem you can solve. Oh, financial. Okay, I can solve. Go and ask money from parents, go and do part-time and or whatever. 2, always sleepy. Yes, you can solve. It's your own behavior, your own attitude, your own sleepiness. 3, overweight. Yes, you can control. Go and diet, exercise and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Problem you cannot solve. People's behavior, people's mouth, people's thinking, people's attitude. Can you control that? This is what we call the problem controllable and uncontrollable problem. So what you should do, focus your life with controllable problem, which is related to you. Because it's all about you, you can control. But problem that you cannot control, or the uncontrollable problem, which is related to any other parties, any other person, you are wasting your time. Because you cannot control other people. You cannot force people to love you. You cannot force people to respect you. You cannot force people to stop talking about you. You cannot force people to have negative thoughts about you. No, you cannot do that. So, don't waste your time and energy thinking and trying to solve problem which is uncontrollable problem. You're wasting your time. No matter what, you can take tons of years. You still cannot control uncontrollable problem. So this is what we call the good problem solving method. Focus more on the controllable problem and forget. Eliminate straight away. No, I cannot control this. Okay, but how can you improve the ability of team members? Okay, the uncontrollable problem is that if you cannot force that person to study, you cannot force that person to follow your instruction, you cannot force that person to do this, to do that, but you can help that person to learn. You can help that person to master something. You can help that person to understand you by leading by example. Bring closer the knowledge to that person. Bring the 5W1H to that person. By communication, by doing together, by having chit-chat, not in a formal mood, in a friendly mood.
Casually.
Okay? Right. So that's a simple way to do. All right.
Thank you, Doctor. Right. I think we have come to the end of our talk where we have shared plenty of knowledge regarding our topic today, be a
All right.
leader, not a boss.
All
Again,
right.
I would like to thank Dr. Hajjah Sharifah Mazlina Said Abdul Qadir for the insightful explanations on the talk and for answering
Right.
all of the questions.
Thank you.
Well, in short, leadership is a journey. You might be stumble and doubt yourself along the way. You might as
Mm-hmm.
well make mistakes. But if you keep trying your best and your action inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you
Yeah.
are already a great leader.
All right. And I would like to share my final slides, if you don't mind,
Mhm.
before we end
Sure,
up.
Doctor.
Okay. All right. So, in short, if my notes is too long, um, another thing that you can do is to coach down. Let them be good or better than you are. It's okay. Being a good leader, it's okay for them to be better than you are. All right.
Mhm.
This out you actually can eliminate your ego as well. Collaborate across. Okay. What's the point of being a leader or boss if you don't have a follower and workers to work with you? With you, not for you. And
Mhm.
also try to manage up. Listen, 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 and meet expectation. It's always
Mhm.
listen. A good leader is always listen. Open your heart, your mind, your ears, and hide away your ego. All right.
Mhm.
Last but not least, leaders inspired, bosses fired.
Right.
Right. So,
Mm-mm.
and normally leaders have followers, but bosses, nah, nothing.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And so that inspire you. So you can follow me on my website. Okay, Dr. Sharifah Mazlina. This is my website. You can see my expedition and all that inside
Mhm.
there. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Sharifah Mazlina. I have two. One is Sharifah Mazlina, the expeditor for my page.
Mhm.
And you can also send me emails to my concept. All right. So
Okay.
thank you so much. All right.
Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we end our event for today, let us all switch on our camera and give the brightest smile for photography session.
All right. Are we good?
Not yet.
Not yet. I can see there's so many questions being asked, no?
Yes, they are overwhelmed.
Too bad I cannot answer all that. Yeah.
I think we're good.
All right. Very good.
Okay, everyone
Okay.
ready? Okay. Okay. Give your brightest smile in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Again. Okay, give your brightest smile in 3, 2, 1. Okay, another one. Okay, give your brightest smile again in 3, 2, 1. All right.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. As the saying
Okay.
goes by, to every beginning there is an ending, and now the event has come to its end. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for gracing our event with your presence. We truly appreciate it. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to apologize if we have done any mistakes throughout the event. With that, till we meet again, I am Amira Arianti. Assalamualaikum, thank you, and good day.
Waalaikumsalam. Bye.